Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be discussing emotional neglect. And it's not loud, it's not mercy, it doesn't happen overnight, but it starts slowly, and it can even kill the strongest connection if care is not taken. Now let's dive into it. As you all know, I love taking my sections part by part, so to enable my audience to really understand what I'm talking about. And I'm going to be starting with part one. And my part one, I'm going to be defining what emotional neglect is all about and how it starts. Now, emotional neglect is when one or both parties stop showing up emotionally. You are in the same house, the same room, but it feels like you are miles apart. It's not always intentional. It starts small. Yeah, it starts small. You stop asking how their day was. You stop checking in on how they are. You assume they are fine because they don't complain, but inside they are slowly detaching, giving distance in the relationship, and eventually someone starts to feel invincible. Someone starts feeling unloved in the relationship, even while they are still being loved. Part 2: signs you are experiencing emotional neglect. I'm going to give you signs, some few signs of how emotional neglect is like. You may not realize you're on it. And the signs might come gradually. It might be difficult for you to detect at first, but I'm going to give you a few of those signs. Which my number one sign is you feeling lonely, even though you are not single. You start feeling like you are not in a relationship. You start feeling lonely. You start feeling apart from your partner, distant from your partner. You don't. Number two is you don't talk about feelings anymore, just routines and responsibilities. You don't talk about your feelings anymore with your partner. You guys are just on routine, and you are performing certain things which you feel you are is your responsibility as partners in relationship, but you no longer discuss how you people feel anymore. Number three, your partner shuts down when you express emotions. Yeah, your partner becomes mute. They become, how do I put it, they become detached. They no longer care. They no longer find themselves supporting you emotionally. They no longer find themselves interested in that topic or that thing which is bothering you emotionally. Four, you feel like you are too much for acts to ask. Yes, you feel like you are too much for asking for attention. You feel like it's like I'm asking too much. It's like I'm beginning to demand a lot of attention from my partner. It's like I'm beginning to demand lots of attention from her. It's like I'm demanding too much attention from him. But it's a lie. That is emotional neglect beginning to set in. Five, you start craving attention from outside the relationship, and that is when doom has set in. Do you know why I say so? The moment you start craving attention from outside, that means your partner is no longer giving you the quality attention that you need, and someone else is beginning to give you the attention. Someone else is beginning to draw your attention, and you're beginning to gradually get attached to that person. Gradually you begin to yearn for that person's presence in your life, that person's time, that person's attention in your life, and that is when it all starts getting sour. It's subtle but powerful, and it's not addressed. It turns into resentment, bitterness, and eventually disconnection. Number three, part three of why emotional neglect hurts so deeply. Remember, we are wired to connect, especially with the people we love. So when you're with someone who doesn't see you emotionally, it creates a wound. Here's what makes it worse: you can't always explain it. You don't want to complain. You feel guilty for needing emotional support. But emotional needs are not weakness, they are the core of a thriving relationship. Yes, you had me. Emotional support is not, or emotional needs, or are not weakness. They are the core of a thriving relationship. It is what makes a strong and healthy relationship. You can live without constant gifts or date nights, but you can't thrive in a love that doesn't feel like love. Yes, you had me. Part 4 of emotional neglect: common causes of emotional neglect. Let's be real. Sometimes emotional neglect happens because one or both partners are overwhelmed with work or stress. Unresolved trauma causes emotional shutdown. The relationship has been an autopilot for too long. Communication was never really strong to begin with. One partner feels unappreciated or emotionally unsafe. You are not a bad person for pulling away, but love dies when emotional needs go unmet for too long. Like I said, one or both partners are overwhelmed with work. When work and stress begins to set in, there's tendency for one partner to unemotionally be available, which most times, I feel like in those kind of relationships, what I truly tell people, sincerely speaking from my own angle, is that no matter how stressed or worked out people are, to the people whom they love, they are always ready to be emotionally available no matter how stressed they are. They can make excuses, probably apologize and say, please, I might not be able to talk to you for today, but let's address this matter tomorrow. Or how about I make it up to you tomorrow via dinner, via a date or something. They always try to make sure that they make up time for the time which they were not emotionally available for you. They always try to fix in themselves to make sure that everything goes smoothly. But when once you're not loved, you see people start displaying this certain attitude, or partners begin to display this attitude. Part 5 of emotional neglect: how to reconnect and heal. I'm going to give you a solution on how to fix emotional neglect. Number 1, acknowledging the gap. Sit down and have the honest conversation. Discuss things like making statements like, I feel like we've grown distance emotionally and I want us to reconnect. That is number 1 way of fixing emotional neglect. Number 2, ask intentional questions. How are you really feeling today? What do you need more from me emotionally? What's something I've stopped doing that you miss? Number 3 of how to fix emotional neglect: schedule connection, not just activities. Talk with no phones, go on walks, pray together, create emotional space, not just physical space. There's difference between physical space and emotional space. Emotional space is that time when you are alone with that person and you pour out your heart. You walk with the person hand in hand together, discuss your in-depth problems, let the person know what is bothering you so much, that particular thing that has been causing setbacks in your relationship. Then watch and see how that relationship begins to thrive again. Number 4 of the things to do to make that relationship to thrive again: do small things consistently. Things like random compliments, holding hands, asking how they slept or if they are okay, leaving thoughtful notes or messages. You see this last one, leaving thoughtful notes or messages, most partners don't know how to do it, which is really wrong and bad. How can you be in a relationship and you don't send your partner messages once in a while? Love messages, love notes, telling them how they feel important, those sweet lines, those compliments, holding their hands. Real bad. Small things matter deeply when it comes to emotional security. 5 of how to fix emotional neglect. Seek support if needed. Therapy. A lot of people don't know that therapy and counseling, or even relationship talks like this one, which I am doing right now, can help. The goal is not to blame but to rebuild. Please avoid apportioning blames when it comes to fixing matters. Generally, when it comes to fixing matters generally in relationship, avoid apportioning blames. Just talk it out, air out your heart, air out what you feel is wrong in the relationship, and then watch and see as your relationship becomes strong again and the bond between both of you grows again. In conclusion, I'm going to tell you that emotional neglect is silent, but it speaks volume. If you've been distant lately, intentionally or not, this is your moment to check in, reconnect, apologize, rebuild. It's not too late, but it does take effort. If this message resonated with you, share with someone you love, like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you have ever felt unseen in a relationship. Let's break the silence and grow into the love we all deserve. Thank you.